Spring brings together all of the beauties, the friendships, and the generosities. And it is a symbol of solidarity for a new year full of freedom. Senator Torricelli, one of the first friends of freedom and persistence. I invite Senator Torricelli to come and speak for us.
I would like to invite a great friend of the Iranian people. He has been a vanguard in supporting the PMI and the Iranian Resistance and has worked hard over the past several years to defend the PMI members and their relocation to Albania. Senator Robert Torricelli, please welcome him.
Thank you. My friends, it is only the first day of spring, and already my prayers have been answered. A new Ashraf has been created before your eyes. A new house of Iranian freedom has been built, and you built it with your own hands. To those listening in Iran, someday your children's children will walk these halls, the paths of these buildings, look at monuments built in your honor, and they will say, in the darkest hours of Iranian history, when all hope was lost, freedom had been vanquished, 3,000 brave souls never gave up, never gave in, kept free, built Ashraf, and fought for Iranian freedom. I want only, if you'll forgive me, to say a word about my own country. David Munoz has been introduced before. I said to David less than an hour ago, it is rare in a man's life when he can say that he saved a single life. Look out at this crowd, David. Through you, you helped save 3,000 lives. Thank you. It is hard to believe. Only 4 years ago, we were dealing with the absurdity, the ridiculous notion that the MEK and the POMI were on a terrorist list in America. 4 years later, the United States organized the departure of the MEK from Camp Liberty, helped establish a new home in Albania. And now Donald Trump and the United States are eye to eye with the religious dictators in Tehran. And I don't know about you, but I'm betting on Donald Trump. It is important to understand the decisions which bring us here today, because there was another course. Each of you could have remained trapped in Ashraf. surrounded by Iranian and Iraqi soldiers, killed one by one, losing not only your own lives, but the chance to be a force in the fight for Iranian freedom. Or you could have stayed in liberty with rocket attacks, an eventual assault, and lost your own lives, or a chance to be a force in the fight for Iranian freedom. A decision had to be made, and we all could offer advice. But late at night, when all the advisors were gone, one person had to make a decision. Stand and die, or leave and fight. Be proud to the death, locked in liberty or Ashraf, or understand the one central truth of every revolutionary movement in history. No revolution was ever won being on the defensive. One woman had to make this decision. And in the course of Iranian history, saving 3,000 lives, but more important, saving a movement, a spark, an idea, a hope, an aspiration for a new and free Iran. That decision was Mrs. Rajavi's, and that decision has made all the difference. Now, I know there are some of you who wonder, were we not better on the front lines, only miles from Iran, than here in Albania or Paris or America or Britain? I understand your doubts. Our friends from France can tell you the same. When de Gaulle organized the liberation of France from London, or Aquino organized the collapse of the Marcos government from New York, or when Mandela sat on Robben Island planning the end of apartheid. It is not where you stand, it is how you fight. It is not where you are, but that you never give up. It is where you understand where you are in history and the weapons at your disposal. Lech Walesa was once asked about the most important weapon in the collapse of communism. And he said, the cassette tape. Your cassette tape is the internet and social media. It is your gun. It is your rocket. It is your bomb, because it moves minds. It moves people, and it brings down regimes. That is your mission. That is why we sit in London and Paris and Berlin and New York and Tehran. And now I want to speak to each and every one of you individually. As soldiers, your missions are different, but all critical. Tomorrow morning, if you wake up and your mission is to make bread, you are feeding the people who represent the last best hope for a free Iran. If you do laundry, you are clothing people who are our only chance to remove the mullahs. If you're on the internet, you are the only voice reaching desperate people in Iran who need to hear that there's hope and a better future, and that one of the world's great civilizations, its first great empire in Persia, need not be left behind in history. Iran can not only be everything it was in history, but it does not need to be left out of the march of history either. Wealth and prosperity is not only a European right. Freedom is not simply an American privilege. To live without fear and incarceration and death is not something bestowed upon new republics. It can be part of the oldest civilization on earth. Iran does not need to be the exception. Iran can be the rule. Every person deserves to be free. Every child deserves a future. Everyone deserves to be able to speak their mind. Everyone deserves to be able to worship their God as they choose. Iran will be the exception no more. Iran will join history and live with the family of nations. To the people of Iran who may hear our voices today, these proud 3,000 are the tip of the spear, a hard metal forged in death and suffering and years of struggle. But behind that tip of the spear are millions of Iranians. And you all have a role. It does not matter that we are here as the proud 3,000. In every village and city in Iran, you have a mission. If you're a simple student writing graffiti on the wall, asking for a free Iran, that is a contribution. If you're a worker forced to work in a factory for the Revolutionary Guards, you have a role ensuring that that product does not bring profit as it otherwise might. If you're a soldier in Iran, you have a role. Never fire upon your own people. No proud army ever killed one of their own citizens. Everyone in Iran has a role. The fact that you're not an Ashraf does not mean you're not part of the struggle. Big or small, take a stand. Be part of the future. Be part of a free Iran. Make your decision today to end the dictatorship, person by person, village by village across Iran. Take a stand now. It has been the honor of my life to be a soldier in your struggle. And I could not be more proud that in the darkest hours of Iranian freedom, my countrymen, Democrats and Republicans, liberals and conservatives, have joined ranks with Mrs. Rajavi under her leadership. But none more than a voice of the great American conscience, the former United States ambassador to the United Nations, an outspoken fighter for Iranian freedom, John Bolton. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks to Bob Torricelli for that very kind introduction. I am delighted to see all of you here in Albania. Delighted that you're all here in Albania. Glad to meet with you here, and I have every confidence that one day we will meet again in a free Iran. I want to extend my sincere thanks to the government of Albania. They have made a humanitarian and gracious decision to grant asylum to all of you after the hardships and even the tragedies that you suffered at Camp Ashraf and Camp Liberty. It was a solemn obligation, a commitment by the government of the United States to protect the people of Ashraf I have to say we're all sorry that we didn't do a better job, but we're delighted that the outcome has been what we see here today, and we thank Albania for that decision. Oh, don't thank me, thank Albania. And now I have a few words for the mullahs in Tehran. The golden era, or what they called the golden era, in relations with the United States is over. This is the first Nowruz celebration that I've had the privilege to participate in, but I can tell you that 60 days ago in Washington, we had a kind of Nowruz too. You know, it is vitally important that the whole world understand that American policy on the mullahs regime, their support for international terrorism, and their nuclear weapons program has fundamentally changed. Certainly there are details that still remain to be worked out that need to be articulated, but the notion that this regime in Tehran has legitimacy, that its word can be trusted, that it will honor its commitments, those illusions have been swept aside. The threat of nuclear proliferation, which the mullahs represent, is one of the most dangerous aspects to liberty and freedom around the world that we can imagine. The idea that a deal with a regime like that will either slow them down or certainly stop the nuclear program was misguided from the beginning. I think when he was a candidate, Donald Trump made it very clear, and this is, after all, the man who wrote the book called The Art of the Deal, described it as one of the worst deals the United States had ever made in its diplomatic history. And that deal the Ayatollahs are on notice that that deal has a very limited lifespan. We've already seen the change in policy manifest itself on Secretary of State Tillerson's recent trip to Japan, South Korea, and China. It may seem a long way from Iran, but the message was very clear, and he delivered it in South Korea with respect to the North Korean nuclear weapons program, when he said the past policy of so-called strategic patience is over and finished. When it comes to nuclear weapons, there can be no patience with their spread. And I think given what we know about the relationships between North Korea and the mullahs regime, their cooperation on ballistic missile programs, their cooperation in the nuclear field, a different line with respect to North Korea is just the first step toward a very different line with the mullahs program. This is a deal that the regime in Tehran has already violated in many ways that we know. And I am confident it has violated it in many ways that perhaps we don't know yet, by hiding programs from international inspectors, by conducting some of them perhaps even in North Korea. The fact is that the regime remains on the U.S. list of state sponsors of terrorism. It is the very definition of a rogue regime. It's pursuing nuclear weapons, it sponsors terrorism, and oppresses its own citizens. This is a rogue regime, not a rogue country, not a rogue people, a rogue regime, which is why I have believed for over a decade now that the declared policy of the United States should be regime change in Iran. And the sooner the better, for the sake of international peace and security and for the sake of the suffering people of Iran. But now in the short term, we have to deal with the consequences of this deal on the nuclear program, something I've called an American diplomatic Waterloo. So I would just extend at this point a friendly warning to American companies, to European companies, to businesses all around the world. The international sanctions imposed because of the mullah's nuclear program have been lifted. But American sanctions that go to their sponsorship of terrorism around the world, those sanctions remain in place. The regime's designation as a state sponsor of terrorism remains in place. I would argue that no responsible American company should do business with a state sponsor of terrorism, period. And I would say the same to the Europeans. It's true that under the deal, perhaps $150 billion of assets were unfrozen and given to the regime, and that many deals have already been signed. But there's a long way to go, and any business that does any kind of economic activity, trade or investment with this regime is risking its shareholders' equity, it's risking its reputation, and it's certainly risking the prospect of ever getting that money back again. So before the business people get on airplanes heading for Tehran, while this regime remains in power, remember that the eyes of the world are still upon you. Now, the fact is that what we all want to see in Iran is a representative government, with the people of Iran being allowed to elect their own leaders. I've watched the PMOI and the NCRI for many, many years. I've looked at the MEK platform carefully. I've noted its planks, particularly on its renunciation of nuclear weapons. This is the kind of debate that Iran needs to have. These are the kinds of principles that need to be put to the people of Iran, trusting that they will do the right thing and that this repressive regime is on the short list of regimes, and its life expectancy is very short indeed. Now, as I say, we're waiting the specifics of what the Trump administration's program will be. As usual, there's debate inside the United States. No American transition from one president to another ever goes as quickly as we might like. I just ask for a little bit more patience while this gets worked out. I think there are some steps that the administration is considering, certainly that I would advocate, starting with putting the IRGC on the list of foreign terrorist organizations as early as possible. The IRGC has been an enemy of America from the day that our embassy was seized in Tehran at the beginning of the revolution of 1979, continuing through the day in 1983 in Beirut, when an officer of the IRGC stood on a hill looking through binoculars as a predecessor group of Hezbollah attacked the American Marine barracks and killed over 250 American Marines, as the IRGC trained and armed militias in Iraq that attacked American troops. There's a long history of this, and it's not something that the United States should ever overlook. So I'm hopeful that the IRGC's designation, and it will be a fine day not only when the MEK was taken off that list quite properly, but the IRGC, the real terrorist organization, is put on once and for all. I know there's still a long way to go, and it may seem sometimes like a frustrating journey, but all I can say is this is a wonderful celebration. Happy Nowruz to all of you, and I'm looking forward to more and more of the new day in America we have as well. Thank you very much. Albania has had its own history of dictatorship and alien ideology. How extraordinary that in one generation, Albania has gone from dictatorship to being equal to any other free nation in the fight for freedom. Who would have believed in one generation the list of countries answering the call for a free Iran were Britain and France and Germany and Italy and America and Albania, equal and second to none. Our most important conversations, the most important work in creating the new Ashraf and bringing you here was led by the Deputy Interior Minister, Ilana Jabraya. Minister?
Thank you. Happy Nowruz. Nowruz Mubarak.
Dear participants, dear organizers, dear Madam Rajavi, I wish to thank you that you place me as part of your festivities and acknowledge some part of your cultures. And for this year, I have to celebrate 2 times the New Year, once in January and once today, together with you. Despite the changes in dates between our cultures, the New Year symbolizes a new beginning. By leaving aside the balance sheet of failures and successes of what we have learned from last year, and based on what we have been through, we start to have our new beginning. By hoping that this new year will be more fair people, will work more hard to achieve the success of our initiatives. We will help those that have more in need for us. And when I say like this, I direct firstly to each and every one of us. But the same thing, it is also for an organization or a state. Everyone. Everyone has the right to live free and enjoy all the rights that come from the simple fact of being a human being. Everyone needs to be treated with dignity without menacing the freedom and religious belief. I would like to remind you again that in October of 2013, when the Albanian government, under the direction of the Prime Minister Edi Rama, took the office, we acknowledge the fact that 200 members of the MAC organization were in Albania. During a 3-year period, we achieved in an excellent cooperation with our partners to organize the relocation operation of 2,500 MAC members with a perfect coordination without any single incident. That's why you are all here today. You're happy that now you are here. You can make such organizations, this wonderful Nowruz, in a sunny day in the free and democratic Albania. I wish to thank again the Prime Minister of Albania, the Tahiri, the Minister of Internal Affairs, the organizers and our American partners, the UNHCR that made possible such relocation, this successful operation, and the fact that now you're here. Together we will do even more beautiful things. Happy Nowruz.
It is considered inappropriate in my country to introduce the President by saying anything other than the President. I need say nothing more to you because the name means so much to all of us than to simply introduce to you the former Prime Minister of Albania, Pandele Michael.
That's enough. I will speak some words in English, after in Albanian. But it's a great honor being today in front of you, all friends, sisters and brothers, fathers and mothers, that for the first time, all Ashraf camp passed the Nowruz Day all together in Albania, safe, and your second home. A friend of mine that is known for you, Mehdi, and after Hassan, have told me to be explicit and a little bit technical on saying about the number of your presence here. You are 2,700, because we every time say 3,000. But for me it's okay, Mehdi. 2,700 plus Madame Rajavi, you are 3,000. Now in Albania.
I'm here with friends, colleagues, and not only of my political branch, but also of the right opposition from the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. I'm a socialist. We socialists think that for the next 4 years in Albania it was Nowruz, the big Nowruz, while they think that it was the Nowruz will come after the elections. We're still a little bit in debate with one another, but despite the debates that exist in the Albanian political class, we are ready to fight also for the time, whether it is sunshine or rain. But for you, there is no political language. For you, my dear friends, there is only one language which is understood by all the nations, which is the language of the heart.
Don't say a lot this falemderit shumë, because it's very difficult word and will create misunderstandings that you have started to learn the Albanian language. Albanian language used to be one of the most difficult words. But the language of friendship is very simple. Thank you and faleminderit means thank you to your honor. And believe me, left or right, male or female, for all Albanians, you are welcome here. You are part of your family. You must consider Albania like your second home. Have been an unbelievable story written for your coming here. Thanks to the support of our American friends, and especially American embassy here in Tirana, this operation is unprecedented and have happened during a period of time when in the doors of Europe are knocking refugees from all the Middle East. And if you see hundreds and thousands of them not getting shelters or losing their life in the sea, you have came under the umbrella of a cooperation with United Nations and UNHCR, with American government and Albanian government. Thanks to such a support, you are here. You are not thinking that during the night somebody will attack you with missiles. You are safe. And leave me the opportunity to repeat special thanks for the American government, American embassy, but because we don't have Albanian cameras here to be taped, thanks and to the opposition of Albania that support us in such a very special action, humanitarian action. I don't have any other words to say. I'm so happy. I feel myself very confident. You know me very well. Don't say yes, Mehdi, because I know that. But that's all. Sometimes the words of the heart are in silence, are written and heard from each one that feels that heart every time is heart. Thank you.
آقای فاطمیر مدیو نماینده پارلمان آلبانی وزیر پیشین دفاع و رئیس حزب جمهوری از میهمانان عزیز جشن نوروزی ما هستند که حمایت‌ها و پشتیبانی‌هایشان از مقاومت ایران رو در گردهمایی‌های بزرگ سالانه مقاومت
It's my great pleasure to invite a long-standing friend of the PMI and advocate for their relocation to Albania. Former Minister of Defense and current Chairman of the Republican Party of Albania, Mr. Fatmir Medio.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate. Thank you for making part of your celebration here, dear Madam Rajavi. Thanks for the invitation. Your prayers and your words are heard from God because He knows better than everybody else what freedom and liberty means. And that's why we are here today with other friends to join you in prayers in your fight for free Iran. As Senator Torricelli mentioned, you have built a free home here, but now we are on a new day to go on and move and fight for new Iran, to your country that is your home. Nowruz Mubarak, Happy New Year to all of you. This is the day of new life. This is a day of a new challenge. This is a day of reflection and responsibility to work for a better future in this new year. It is a day for all of us to be happy, but at the same time to keep in our mind the fight for freedom and liberty has to continue. It is the day to enjoy, but at the same time to continue to fight for life. It is the day of the people to understand that good should prevail over evil. It is the day to move away from the darkness and to bring light. The only thing necessary for triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing, said Edmund Burke. And I will add that the only necessary thing for triumph of good is for good people to be united and believe that what God has given cannot be taken from evil. So that's we are here today all together. Madam Rajavi, you have been a great leader and inspiration, not just for Iran, for many other countries in the world. That's why we are here with you today. You have great friends. You brought to Albania not just yourself, but you brought to Albania your friends as well. So that's why we are very happy and pleased to have John Bolton and Senator Torricelli with us today, and other friends from France that are joining us with you in this celebration. So you have a lot of Albanians that are your brothers and sisters. You have a home here, but you have your country that needs you, and it's worthy to fight for your country and for freedom of Iranian people. This is not just a day for you, but it's a day for Iranian people and their dream for free Iran and democracy. There's no better way to do it, but as Senator Torricelli said, take a stand now and fight for yourself and fight for your country and join with the friends to make your cause and win the democracy and free Iran. God bless you, God bless Iran, God bless your people. Thank you.
آقای دیوید مونیز معاون سفیر آمریکا در آلبانی.
Mr. David Muniz, the
We are delighted
deputy.
to have with us Mr. David Muniz, deputy of U.S. Mission in Albania. Please join me in welcoming him.
Happy New Year. Great Nowruz. It is very, very good for me to see all of you here today, safe and sound. I thank God that we were able to finish the relocation so quickly and efficiently, and that you are all here in Albania. Thanks to the generosity of the Albanian people and the Albanian government, you have a new home here, and as always, you amaze us with your ability to do so much in such a short amount of time. We are always impressed. When we knew that we had to transfer 2,000 people in such a short period of time from Iraq under such difficult circumstances, we knew it would be a huge challenge. And I wanted to share with you, as I've shared with many of your colleagues before, I've had the privilege of serving my country in Iraq. And when I was there, I was also on, shall we say, the receiving end of what the Al-Quds Force can do with its rockets and its merciless hate. So I understand what many of you faced for so many years. Congratulations on surviving that difficult period in the desert. Congratulations. I also want to again acknowledge the hard work, the very hard work done by so many of our partners during this relocation process that finished last fall. Dr. Jabrea was instrumental in this, and she cannot be thanked enough. She worked so hard. Personally, we were talking every day about all the details, arranging all of the various things that had to be done to bring you here. She deserves your undying gratitude for what she did. She and her staff, some of whom have been able to join us today as well from the Ministry of Interior. So you have already... You have already made, I think, a wonderful start here in Albania. I'm happy to tell you I hear wonderful things about the PMOI members everywhere they are encountered here in Tirana. People are always telling me how wonderful it is to meet you when you're out and about. And I believe that you will have a wonderful time here in Albania. Many of you, in fact, are learning Albanian against the advice of Mr. Maiko. And it is a very difficult language, I can tell you. I've studied it. But I'll leave you with 2 words from Albanian for you to use today. Urime dhe suksese. Thank you.
رهروان بهار آزادی، رهروان بهار آزادی، سال هاست که نوید رسیدن بهاران ایران زمین به دست زنان و مردانی را می‌دهند که سر در راه ناخدای آزادی سپردند. سرود بهاران خجسته باد توسط گروه کره ارتش آزادی.
In this segment, we will have a musical performance by the choir.
پهلوانان و رادمردان ایران زمین
The champions of Iran have always been have always stood alongside the freedom fighters of this beautiful nation. The champion Muslim Iskandar Filavi, the head of the Sports Commission of the National Council of Resistance of Iran, will speak for us.
Now we have with us Iran's national hero, chairman of the NCRI Sport Committee, Mr. Muslim Iskandar Filavi. Please welcome him.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dear guests, supporters of the Iranian freedom fighters, Happy New Year and welcome here. And you are welcome all the time. Thank you. نوروز بمانید که ایام شمایید.
You are the people who are creating these days, the new year. You are the beginning and you are the end. The sun spreads love. You are the sun and you are the love.
نوروز کهنسال کجا غیر شما بود؟
Nowruz without you wouldn't be as it is.
غیر شما بود. اسطوره جمشید جم و جام جم و جم.
You are the historical heroes of this land.
با عرض تبریک خجسته نوروز 1300
I wish you all a happy new year.
به رهبری مقاومت آقای مسعود رجوی.
To the leader of the resistance, Mr. Masood Rajavi, to Mrs. Maryam Rajavi, to our dear guests and the friends of the resistance, the champions and the heroes, the true heroes of Iran, the People's Mujahideen of Iran, the members of the National Council of Resistance of Iran, the supporters of the Ashrafis, the brave supporters of the Ashrafis across the world, to our compatriots, freedom-loving compatriots, anywhere they are across the world. This year, we are celebrating Nowruz as the Iranian Resistance has achieved a historical victory. All of the Mujahideen, with the night and daily activities and efforts of Mrs. Rajavi, have been able to come here collectively, and all of the schemes and plots of the evil mullahs have been put behind. This Nowruz gathering is taking place while this evil regime, this criminal regime of Khamenei and his acolytes, the terrorists, were hoping to destroy this resistance. But every single Ashrafi, the Mujahideen, their supporters, they diffused their plots and they transferred here a historical achievement. When the mullahs took the people of Iran as hostages, they couldn't think
میلیاردها دلار از ثروت مردم چگونه منطقه خاورمیانه و جهان را
These criminals have turned this entire region, the entire region of Middle East, into a hotbed of terrorism. The struggle of the Mujahideen took place inside Iran, and the civilized nations of the world remained silent. 120,000 of our sons and daughters were martyred, and no one spoke. And now these terrorists who have been bred by Khamenei and Khomeini are sprouting in other regions, in Europe, in Argentina, everywhere. Dear friends, our nation is facing its worst enemies in its history. It has driven the country into poverty. They are executing a lot of people, and these executions and crimes are continuing. I deem it important to thank the noble people across the world who were our voice, who listened to our voice and helped Mrs. Rajavi and supported the freedom fighters of Iran.
دست در دست هم نهاده و از این مقاومت حمایت جانانه کرده اند سپاسگزاری و تشکر کنم.
This resistance,
این مقاومت به رهبری خانم مریم
led by Mrs. Maryam Rajavi and Mr. Rajavi, bravely and with the bravery of the people inside Iran, the sons and daughters of Iran inside the country and outside, are ready to overthrow this criminal regime. Very soon, freedom will return to Iran and peace to the region. Hopeful to see that day soon. I wish you all happiness. Thank you very much.
دوستان عزیز ما در پارلمان آلبانی که در جشن نوروزی ما حضور دارند، در شمار هزاران پارلمانتر آزاده‌ای در جهان هستند که با حمایت خود از مقاومت ایران برای برقراری دموکراسی و حقوق بشر در میهنمان بر اصول و ارزش‌های انسانی مردمشان تأکید می‌کنند.
Today we are honored to have representative of the Albanian people, a delegation from the Albanian parliament here with us. We welcome them.
I'm Mimosa Aydarmata. I'm a member of Parliament, DP. I would like to speak in Albanian because I feel that I can say hard words in my Albanian language. Gëzuar të gjithëve vitin
Happy New Year, the new Iranian New Year. It is a great pleasure that we are here today with you all together as one community, as the same in the common country, Albania. And for the moment, Albania is your country as well. I have been really happy that I have met many of you, especially ladies, women, mothers, honorable ones, who, despite they are suffering, it is read into their eyes the suffering for the country, for their family members, and they are really optimistic that tomorrow, for them, for their country, for Iran, will be better. Even other colleagues said it, and I join with their thought that who knows that us Albanians who have dreamed and fought for freedom and democracy, we understand you and we support you. We pray together with you, and we hope together with you, and we wish a lot for your wishes for the next year to be in the free Iran. Happy New Year, all of us together. Thank you.
رقص و قوقاس همه جا هل هل برپاس بیا بیا بگو تو با من چیه این شوری که اینجاست واسه همه پلنگای نشسته توی بیشه دیگه نگو که سخته نمیتونم یا که نمیشه پاشو کف شو تو پا کن وقتش شال و کلا کن همه عاشقای عالم رو با یه هموار صدا کن صدای شیپور میگه دشمن شده داغون بریزیم توی خیابون خونه شب شده بیرون پاشو پاشو برقصیم و بخندیم اینو بدون که ما پیروز میدون نبردیم پاشو کف شو تو پا کن وقتش شال و کلا کن همه عاشقای عالم رو با یه هموار صدا کن با یه هموار صدا کن با یه هموار صدا کن همه دستامونو بدیم به دستای هم تا دلای مردم رو پاک کنیم از هرچی غم پاشو کف شو تو پا کن وقتش شال و کلا کن همه عاشقای عالم رو با یه هموار صدا کن
شهردار ژان پیر مولر از یاران قدیمی مقاومت ایران در فرانسه هستند که در همراهی و حمایت از آرمان آزادی ایران در همه صحنه‌ها فعال و کوشا بودند. گواهی این دوستی و همراهی نامگذاری سالنی در شهرداری شهرشان به نام ایران است.
Our next speaker is a long-standing friend of the Iranian resistance. Even in the most difficult time, he has always stood by the Iranian resistance. Mayor Jean-Pierre Muller, s'il vous plaît, prenez la parole.
Madame la Présidente,
Mrs. President,
chère Mariam Rajavi,
dear Mariam Rajavi,
chers amis des Moudjahidines du
dear friends of the People's Mujahideen,
Mesdames et Messieurs, honorables représentants,
gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen,
civiles, politiques et religieuses,
civil servants,
des pays amis qui sont représentés
politicians,
ici aujourd'hui,
all of the friends who are being represented here, dear friends,
Après les discours que vous venez d'entendre,
after the speeches that you heard, our American friends, Robert Torricelli, John Bolton, our Albanian friends, former Prime Minister Michael Pandeli, the Albanian ministers, the words of Michael Pandeli were very important, were very just, just like all of them.
Le discours du cœur, disait-il tout à l'heure.
He said the words of heart.
C'est le discours de la vérité et de la justice.
The words of the heart, the speech of heart is the speech of justice and truth. And all the speakers
la tâche n'est pas aisée. Elle n'est pas
have said that the task before us is not simple, it's not finished, and it's pretty difficult.
Alors je vais vous faire part de mon sentiment à cet instant.
I wanted to let you in on my feelings at this moment. What I wanted to say this morning, what I saw this morning when I entered this hall, I wanted to tell you, yesterday, when my friend, with my friend Bruno Massé, we left Paris and came here this morning. And came here from the hotel under a very sunny day. It was a very beautiful day. When we came out of the car and came here, I saw tear-shed eyes, teary eyes. Naturally,
en entrant, j'ai enlevé ces lunettes de soleil.
I took off my shades as I entered the hall, but tears just came to my eyes because
j'ai entendu l'ampleur de vos acclamations.
Because I was hearing your cheers for all of the guests that were arriving.
J'ai eu les larmes aux yeux parce que
and tears came to my eyes because
j'avais peur pour vous.
I was afraid. I feared for you. For years, I feared for you.
Nous avions peur de ne jamais vous connaître.
We feared not ever knowing you,
de télévision, d'ordinateur,
or just knowing you by on screens and computers.
Hier, par Parisa et ses sœurs à l'aéroport de Vienne. Et quand je dis ses sœurs, c'est mes sœurs, nos sœurs.
And Garke, it's as if
on avait peur.
You were like my sisters. We feared for your.
De ne jamais vous connaître.
We feared for your security. We were feared not ever knowing you.
Que cela se finisse très très mal pour vous.
We feared that it ends in a tragedy, in attacks, just like the ones that you have endured in 2013,
la barbarie,
and the barbarousness.
Et quand je parlais du discours,
and as I was talking about the speech about humanity, about justice, that the former Prime Minister, I was hearing that and my heart started beating faster. Because the world changes. There are so many people who don't accept others, who don't tolerate others. In the West, in France, as in other places. There are people who say this does not concern us. We can't accept all the refugees across the world. I didn't know about Tirana, I didn't know about Albania, but I heard these words here of the former Prime Minister and his friends who comprise all of the political tendencies in this country, who said that justice, liberty, freedom, these goals are achieved thanks to these kind of people.
Alors si j'ai eu les larmes aux yeux,
and tears came to my eyes because it's not because of weakness. It's simply because
je me sens avec les miens.
I feel as if I'm among mine own. 3,000
mais j'ai l'impression que je vous connais tous.
I have this feeling that I know every single one of you, as if you're all friends, brothers, sisters.
Pour
human rights, for this struggle, we share the same goals. We are a family, and that's why I cried. And if I'm here,
et si je suis là aujourd'hui,
and if I'm here today with Bruno Massé as the co-president of the committee of thousands of French mayors for defense of Ashrafis, an organization that we have created.
Le maire du 1er arrondissement de Paris, de côté de Jacques Buteau, le maire du 2e arrondissement de Paris.
And we stood with the mayor of the first and second quarters of Paris who can be with us here. There are 36,000 mayors in France who have set an example for others in terms of human rights. It's the country that has written the Declaration, the Universal Declaration of Citizens' Rights. The country who cherishes the values of liberty and equality and brotherhood. And this is what these 36,000 mayors are just emphasizing. They're standing with you because France is the country of freedom, of equality, and of brotherhood. And we will help you in this struggle for freedom in Iran, because this is our struggle. This is the struggle of France, of everyone who believes in liberty and in freedom. If there's any attack against freedom, we are concerned. We will not tolerate it because it's intolerable. Inequality between men and women, executions, capital punishment, and that's why we are standing with you day by day. When you say thank you, you're wrong. You don't have to thank us. We are not doing enough.
De dire ou d'être là ce matin, même s'il faut être là, ceux qui sont les vrais combattants de la liberté.
Those who are the true freedom fighters, those who are the vanguards, who are on the front lines.
Eh bien, c'est vous.
You are those people. You are the vanguards. You are the freedom fighters. The people's mujahideen. You are the alternative.
Vous êtes de vrais combattants de la liberté.
You are the real freedom fighters.
À l'instar de Jean Moulin chez nous.
Just like Jean Moulin back in France, who fought against the Nazis. I think it was Robert or Torricelli or John Bolton who said, and he said, you are the true combatants. And it's not easy to be a freedom fighter in Iran, because we know how it is down there. If this morning we are with you, it's because we share these values with you. And to finish my speech, and to reflect on what has been said before, I think we are, based on the calendar, we are 2017. In Persian, we are 1396. We see each other in Villepinte and Auvers, and I'm very happy to be with you here in Tirana. And I just want this to be faster. The previous speaker said that we would liberate Iran next year. I think if it can be in 6 months, it would be better. If in 2, it's even better.
Tous les murs finissent par tomber.
All walls eventually fall.
Même pas, ils tombent d'un seul coup.
And they fall with a single blow.
Un autre grand défenseur,
another great defender of your cause, of our cause, was Betancourt, who is the citizen of honor in my city. She is with us. I was also thinking, I visited one of our best friends in South Africa. And I think that there too, I think that the mullah's regime's days are numbered. The equality and brotherhood, they will eventually prevail. When we think that there's no move forward, the images that were shown before, the flowers, and I think very soon there will be a very beautiful spring in Iran. Albert Schweitzer said, where you are, make sure that you extend your humanity to others. You are these freedom fighters, and that's what you are doing, and you are always showing your humanity, and we will win this struggle. Because the mullah's Iran is not the true Iran. What is the true Iran is yours, is your values, freedom, and equality.
منتخبان مردم فرانسه مهد حقوق بشر و آزادی طی سالهای مقاومت و پایداری پیشتازان آزادی مردم ایران یار و پشتیبان رزمندگان آزادی بودند. شهردار برونو ماسه از شمار حامیان عزیز مقاومت ایران هستند.
Now I would like to invite our next speaker, one of the good friends of the PMI, Mayor Bruno Masse. S'il vous plaît.
Bonjour à tous. C'est un très très grand.
Hello to all. This is a very important moment for me.
Bien présenté tout à l'heure et devant vous.
In front of you, to be here in this great hall. I don't know what to say. But simply, we have gathered here for the celebration of Nowruz, and I wish you all a very happy year, the coming year.
Il est habituel de
It is customary
choses et plutôt des bonnes choses
to say good things
chaque année.
at the beginning of each year. And since 2008 that I've been at your sides after being elected, I've attended a number of conferences and celebrations and gatherings where we have
constaté des choses plutôt difficiles.
Where we have been talking about things that are rather unpleasant.
Malgré tout, des victoires.
There have nonetheless been victories. When your movement was removed, was from the organization of from the list of terrorist organizations. These victories have to be accepted, have to be acknowledged. Today, I wish you all great achievements in your struggle, in the values that you cherish, and today that you are celebrating Nowruz in Tirana, it is a victory. This is a new step, a new stage. Next, the next stage would be to celebrate Nowruz in Tehran. With my friend Jean-Pierre, we would like to, we are representing 14,000 mayors who support you. Among these mayors, there are also the municipal councils, people who do not hold a station, but they support you nonetheless. I'm the mayor of a small village in Île-de-France. When your resistance movement contacted me, I found it very just that this wasn't being spoken in the media. There are great causes that need to be defended because democracy is a non-perfect mode of governing a country. Among all these causes, I decided to join yours, me and my municipal council. And since 2010, there's a great poster which calls to action, which calls for support for the Iranian Resistance, Camp Ashraf, since at that time you were in Camp Ashraf. Today, that poster has no reason to be, because a victory has been achieved. But there's another struggle that needs to be led. In your country, hangings is something that happens on a daily basis. We must fight against this and make it known. Since November 2015, there were a total of there were enough executions to rival the number of people who live in my village in 2015. We have to make this known. And the next panel and the next poster that I will put up will be the denouncement of executions in Iran. You have within you the hope that when some fall, others will take their place. You will win, we will win. I wish you all a very happy year.
و اینک گروه‌هایی از هنرمندان ارتش آزادی به اجرای ترکیبی از رقص‌های زیبای محلی ایرانی می‌پردازند، شامل رقص کردی، خراسانی، آذری و لری که نشانه‌ای از روحیه همبستگی و نشاط ملیت‌های ایران است.
In this segment, we will have folkloric performance, which we hope you will enjoy.
همچو ابرها سبکبار بگویمت به تکرار ز بند خویش رستیم و با تو عهد بستیم یکان یکان صف کشیده در انقلاب آب دیده همچو ابرها سبکبار بگویمت به تکرار ز بند خویش رستیم